and share my screen. Thank you everybody for joining us today and for taking the survey again. I had a chance to look over the industries that you are in, but just so I know who's who. If you don't mind sharing if you already started your business or are looking to start your business.
You want that in the chat or you want us to?
You can unmute yourself.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
I currently have a business in San Luis County and in Kern County.
What is your business about?
Women's boutique with sort of art and crystals and things like that.
Okay. I'll just go alphabetical order. So Jim, if you don't mind sharing. Or never mind. Or
yeah, I'm here. I'm mostly an investor of sorts, and then my kids are entrepreneurs, so I tend to attend classes to help them out and all the granddaughters and stuff. So,
oh, nice.
yeah, and then I'm watching them right now, so that's why I'm mute.
Thanks. Leanne.
Hello everyone. I'm a work for myself. I have my own business, which is very, very small. I teach piano and Chinese. So I'm working with Cresta College. Cresta College is a fee-based class. I also teach individual. Cresta College I teach is Chinese language and culture. I also work for Hancock College as well. So
nice.
Offer them courses in community education. Also, I go to student home to teach piano. So I just want to learn how to marketing, get more students. And,
okay, nice.
Thank you.
Thank you. Tan?
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I am currently working on starting an online t-shirt company for kids wear that my nephew and I are designing together, and he's 10.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he likes to draw monsters, and I'm an artist, so I take his sketches and I paint them and clean them up, and then we put them on stickers and shirts and things for kids.
Nice. Have fun. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Francis?
I'm at work, so forgive me. It's kind of noisy in the background. So I already have my own personal business, and that is primarily based in SLO County. I also do some work in Monterey County. And then my day job actually kind of coexists with it. And I'm at Central Coast Medical Aesthetics up in Paso. So it's all about skincare and wellness.
Okay. Is this the classy tomboy or
the elegant tomboy?
Elegant, yeah.
Yes.
Teresa?
Yes, I just opened my business at the beginning of this month. So it's a retail store selling indoor houseplants.
Oh, okay. So you grow them and then use?
I purchase them from wholesalers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have to pick them up? Or
I can. I've gotten them delivered so far, but I can also go to the facilities and hand pick as well.
Yeah, nice. Ruslan? Not sure if I said your name.
Yeah. Hi everyone. Oh, can you hear me?
A little bit.
Can you guys hear me?
That's better.
Okay, great. Yeah, I have a digital media business that I opened up in 2020 that I kind of had dormant for a little bit, and now I'm getting back into it, but it's basically digital assets and digital media that has to do with digital ownership and blockchain, those kind of things.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And I believe that's everybody. So I'm going to go over really quickly, since it's only an hour, I am probably going to zoom through a lot of the information. A lot of it is, I would say it's kind of review for some, and or like a refresher, and a lot of it are ideas of what consists within each bullet point. But the 3-day course, I hope you guys are able to join me for the 3 classes. I like to call them adventures and not workshops, because we're going to be exploring for those that already have a business, what you've been doing and how you can modify it and make it better in terms of marketing and sales, of course. And then for those of you that haven't really done much, or you just started, you'll get a better idea of all the things that can be put into place in order to create brand awareness. So very quickly, I'm going to do a review of communications methods. Excuse me. Let me just get my screen. And then, sorry. Can you guys see the slide? Well, the
Yes, we
course,
can.
your course. And then we're gonna look at really recognizing how much time you have available. Not everybody is into marketing or social media management. So it can take a lot of time out of your hands, out of the rest of the operations of your business. And that can be frustrating because you want people to be aware of you and you want people to know of you and what you do, but at the same time, it's like paperwork sometimes for you, probably. It takes time. It takes time to think about a strategy or what you could be doing. And then not just that, the production of the actual either photos or designs is also time consuming. We'll also identify where your business stands in the world of marketing. If you're a startup, what could be best suitable for you, and then if you've already been in business for a while, how we can create growth out of what you have been doing. And finally, an analysis of your industry standards and trends. For the next class, we're going to take a look at who you are as a business. What does your business personality look like? We're going to design your ideal customer, not the common target audience that either your competition has or even you have, but who do you really want as a client and how to attract those type of clients. We're also going to start creating a brief marketing plan that fits your budget and time. And then I'm going to go over some social media tools, or if anybody else has questions about any platform or apps that you'd like me to include. I'm trying to make this as customizable as possible for you so that you can really walk away with more information and feel empowered to do it on your own. Or if you decide to contract out, we can also look at that. And then the third class, or our third adventure, I'll be talking about alternative marketing concepts, and then answer more of your questions pertaining to the challenges that you've been seeing. And then, I'd love to get a feedback as to what you learned, whether on your own or through the class, what you implemented that right away you might have seen some results. And so before I go further, I'd like to get an idea if everybody has a social media account. And you can put it in the chat box of what social media accounts you have. I'd also like to know what challenges or what questions you might have. And that, if you don't mind, just quickly letting me know. Teresa, I know you just started out, but is there, no, I'm sorry, when did you start out? You didn't, right?
I did, just at the beginning of this month.
How's that going, or how do you visualize this journey going?
So far it's going well. I mean, I've been making sales each day that I've been open, sometimes not a lot, maybe just 1 or 2. So I find people come in and say, oh, when did you open? I didn't know you were here. So just seeing how I can market myself better and get the word out, I guess.
Okay, so you have an actual location
Correct.
that gets a lot of foot traffic or a little bit of foot traffic?
It does. It has, there's a couple big shopping centers right in the same complex. So
Okay,
there is a good amount of foot traffic.
yeah. How much time would you say you have available for to dedicate to posting on social media?
So I still work as a nurse. So I just kind of downgraded my hours. So I just took part-time. So I'm only working 2 days a week right now. So I have quite a bit of time.
Yeah,
And all the kids are in school. So
yeah, finally. Okay, thank you. Tan? Do you
Yeah.
have any current challenges?
Yeah, my challenges are, even though I'm on Facebook and Instagram, I'm not really good at using them. So, I need to get more familiar with like the language and the tools that each one has to offer. Because I know, like for me, that's going to be a way to get the word out because I don't have a storefront.
Mhm.
So I'm going to be needing to learn how to do internet marketing until, I might be able to sell some things locally. But for now, I really am interested in learning more about how to use social media for sure.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Francis?
My biggest challenge is just learning how to not take so much time in the actual creation of the posts.
Okay. But you already have an idea of what you want to, which direction you want to take, and
Yes, it's just a matter of getting it,
okay.
not getting too overly creative in my posts because I have all of the programs. I do all of the marketing for my day job. So I have ample amount of graphic programs at my fingertips. And so I have to stop trying to be so complicated and just getting it, the perfect post is the one that's posted
Yes.
instead of overthinking everything.
Yeah, and and this is something that everybody will experience. The fact that it's your business is what makes us overthink, because we're thinking, well, what if that doesn't sound right? Or what if somebody says something, or that they got the wrong message, or am I saying the right things, the right words?
Or I could add more in and I could do this and I could do that. And I can make this happen. And then I could turn that into a video and I could change this. And yeah.
Yeah, no, it's great that you have ideas. I'll just answer your question now. It's not like you're going to end business tomorrow. So maybe just writing them down and then later setting a date for that project, separating them into different projects and just getting them later on done, posted, and then, moving on to the one you got excited all of a sudden. Thank you for sharing. What platforms or what programs do you currently use?
Canva is the one that I use the most.
Okay.
I also have the Affinity Designers, and then I just got Procreate.
Oh, okay. I'll be interested to hear about Procreate. I've been hearing a lot about it.
Yeah, I'm just learning it.
Yeah. For everybody else, Procreate is like a drawing application that you can draw with a pen, or I haven't actually looked into all of the features, but if you want to do more of illustration style posts, so that's a good application. Thank you for sharing. And then Jim, you mentioned your kids are entrepreneurs. Do they have something in mind, or do you have something in mind? I don't know if he's still there.
Hello, yes, my kids are entrepreneurs, so I just like to attend these classes and learn a little something or stay busy. And
yeah. Okay. All right. I'm gonna pick on the rest a little bit later, unless you want to quickly tell me or share your information about your business. So what it takes to promote a business. I'm sure a lot of people, the reason we go crazy wondering if we're doing the right thing, if we're on the right platform, if we're, why aren't we doing everything that everybody else seems to have the time for? And it just seems very chaotic. Mostly because there are three I segmented it into 3 types of marketing. One happens to be face-to-face, which includes networking, volunteering, community involvement, events, workshops, trainings, public speaking, collaborations, inviting people or getting invited to a meeting or lunch, any type of gathering. And so these can be challenging depending on your personality, if you like to go out or not. It can be challenging to meet new people or other businesses. But it is something that I highly recommend, especially when you're starting out. It helps tremendously to build that relationship with other business owners and customers, clients. And so I'll just take Katie, for example. You mentioned crystals. So how is it that you sell currently?
In my 2 storefronts, how I sell crystals is, and people might come in and have a particular thing that they're working on and ask for help with that, or just play with all the crystals in the crystal department. Does that answer your question?
Yes. So how do they hear about you though?
That is something that I need help with. My shop does not rank very high on the searches. So it is, they just happen to walk by a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
I do post crystals on Instagram, and people will come in and ask questions about them. Word of mouth. I have cool window displays, but it's street traffic mostly.
Okay.
I think.
Nice. That's good. I'm glad your locations are working for you. And how often would you say you post on social media?
Probably 3 times a week.
Sorry. Did you say 3 times a week?
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty often. Okay. So the other type of marketing is digital marketing. And this is where it starts getting complicated for many of us that aren't confident in our technology skills. Once you learn, just as a reliever, once you learn one of the programs or platforms, the other tend to be very similar. So like Facebook has recently joined with Instagram. And when you share on one, you have the ability to share on Instagram as well as Facebook at the same time. And I'll go over all those tools in the next class. These are just an idea of what digital marketing consists of. So blogs are basically video, or blogs are the ones you write, like articles kind of. Vlogs are like the articles, but in video format. So if you wanted to tell somebody about them, either educate them or inform them of something new that's going to be happening in the industry, those are great. If you're not camera shy, I recommend it. There's also podcasts, there's e-newsletters, and the programs that are common to use for the e-newsletters are MailChimp or Constant Contacts. If you have questions about any other programs that you've heard of or would like to try out, let me know. I can look into it and get back to you in the next class if I can't answer it right away. For social media, Hootsuite is like a social media management program. But there's also LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, TikTok, Snapchat, and many, many more. I can assure you that you don't have to be on all of them. So we'll identify which social media platforms are most adequate or better for your industry or for your business. For videos, there's Vimeo and YouTube. And then of course there's your website. That alone, I'm sure is very, very time consuming, and just takes a lot of your energy trying to describe everything that you do. But it is very essential to have at least a social media site or at least a website. Even if it's not, even if your business doesn't require that you advertise on social media, there are a lot of new generations coming in, and they, we feel entitled to have any information available to us. So it tends to frustrate us when we don't see a company or a business online. We're kind of wondering, well, what's going on, or what do they do? But if you have something available, just at least something that describes who you are, who you work with, or what you do, or the process of working with you, that would be really, really helpful to grow your business. And then there's e-commerce. So like Airbnb, Eventbrite, for events. There's also Etsy, Pinterest. Popmenu is more of like, what I didn't include is Yelp, or even Google My Business. And so all of those are all accounts that you can create for your business. The presentation got a little bit cut off at the bottom where it has instant messaging. So like text messaging, there's Snapchat also is mostly for messaging. And then WhatsApp. There's several others, but those are, or Messenger also through Facebook, and then, or any texting through any social media. And then there's print and traditional marketing. So of course your business cards, if you want an advertisement in a magazine or newspaper, flyers, brochures, direct mail, there's TV, there's radio, press releases, billboards, murals, car wraps, collateral, branding, giveaways. So there's a lot that falls under marketing, and we're gonna identify which top 3 to 5 are the most essential for your business to make it flourish and bring you in more sales. Hi, Kaylee, I noticed that you just popped in. Can you tell me a little bit about what your business is about?
Hey, yeah, sure. Hello, everyone. I'm Kaylee. I recently have made kind of a lot of different changes in terms of business. I was a bartender for the last decade, and I still bartend a couple days a week to pay the bills. In addition to that, I got my real estate license this year in January, and that's going okay. It's a family business, so it's more an effort to help my mom retire. But my passion right now is a business that I'm hoping to launch this January, and it's called Central Coast Conscious Community. And the purpose of it is just to promote and advocate for spiritual and holistic health and wellness, and to bring all of those conscious businesses and facilitators and practitioners together. Not exactly like a chamber of commerce, although it would kind of be a similar feel. It's about kind of creating that community around that specific field of just spiritual and holistic health and wellness. So anything from like a crystal and jewel and plant shop to somebody who's like a medium or does breath works or yoga, Pilates, herbalists. Yeah, really anything in that kind of field there is what I am passionate about and excited to kind of build that community up. I think it's already on the rise here on the Central Coast. I already kind of feel like we are really lucky and fortunate to be here and might have an advantage of enlightenment just because we have so much privilege by living here. So yeah, I'd like to kind of bring all those forces together and have a stronger community base for people that are interested or are just curious, you know, because I think the word spiritual might freak people out at first and it kind of comes off religious. And that's really not at all what it is. And yeah, so that's kind of what I'm into. And I was recommended to this webinar from, I volunteer, I'm an ambassador with the Morro Bay Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
And so the membership director, Lindsay, she's great. She has kind of connected me to you guys along with a few other different businesses that kind of, they help, you know, you along the way in opening a business. Because I've gotten to the point where I have an LLC and I have a good idea of what I want to do. I'm just struggling with the finances of it, making sure that that's a cleaned up area. And then anything marketing is great for me to learn always. I feel pretty confident with my marketing skills, but it's always good to just keep learning new tricks. You know, I am familiar with a lot of the things that you have recommended so far, but I just checked in at 4:30. So I've only been on for about 12 minutes.
No problem.
Yeah.
And I'll send the presentation, or it'll get sent to you as well as the video after the class.
Okay,
But
great.
you made a really good point that I want everybody to also keep in mind, and that's the keywords that you use when you're presenting your business. What terminology you should be confident to use without feeling like you are scaring somebody away, or that maybe it was not interpreted correctly. And also it helps. I know, Katie, you mentioned that you wanted to rank higher in the searches. So finding the client that you want as your common client, having the correct keywords and terms, or, you know, anything in your industry is always a plus, but that are words that your client uses all the time, or that they're, you know, just in their everyday vocabulary pretty much. So you mentioned creating a community for spiritual wellness. If the word spiritual or spirituality is scaring off people, I'll just use it as an example. It could very easily be modified by possibly even mindfulness, or even the word focus. You know, a lot of us are running around as business owners. You know, we're so busy with everything, actually, all the operations of the business, and so a lot of the time we aren't conscious of where we're going, or who we're even meeting, or what the next day is going to be about. We're just worried about the day to day. But hopefully by creating that mindfulness or that focus, we are toning down to priorities. And in order for your marketing to be effective, it's really about limiting yourself to those tasks that are the most effective, and that will allow you some time to get pumped up for them. You know, if you do have to go to a network event, then I mean, that can be a lot of energy for some of us. So just going over your head, you know, what you're going to say, possibly even hopefully projecting your goals from it, what you hope to attain the day of, will really help you in not just walking into the network meeting as like, oh, okay, so who do I talk to right now? And what am I even going to say? If you don't do networking often, I would say even conversations on social media could be very similar. how do you continue the conversation where it's not just like, oh, hey, how much do you charge for that plant or for that t-shirt?
Mhm.
Where you actually get to know your client and say, oh, what kind of characters are you into? Maybe we can draw one of those up, or hey, do you mind if I send you a quick design, see if you like it? And that way, one, they're appreciating the fact that you're taking the time to design something that was meant for them. But two, you're also getting to know what your potential clients are like, or what they like or dislike. And again, I'm gonna remind everybody that everything takes time. In marketing, you really, really have to get to know who your client is. And I'm talking about even behaviors, likes, dislikes, preferences, trends within their age group,
Yeah.
their ideal or preferred type of communication. So everything goes into marketing. When I first looked at the roster for this class, I noticed there was a hypnotherapist and I think a psychologist in the group. I don't know if you're still in here, but okay. And I was actually excited because I thought, oh, that's going to be a little bit challenging, but I like the challenge. Marketing really is, to me, what I find intriguing is that you're kind of getting into the heads of people and understanding how to convince them to buy more of what you have.
Mhm.
How often can you get them to come back around to you? And you could call it the life cycle of a client or a customer, kind of like the shelf cycle or the shelf life of a product. Is the services that you provide only needed once a year, or can they be looked for 3 times a year, quarterly? So how often can you get them to come back to you? And even if they don't need you, even if you think they don't need you more often, think about why they would. So if I'm selling a t-shirt and, they already bought me one, I'll just leave them alone. I wouldn't. I think more in wholesale also. I think, okay, well, who else would buy a t-shirt? And who would buy a customized t-shirt? Hey, I'm sure if they mentioned that they're in a soccer team. So how about not ask about, their soccer league, or even, if they have like a group squad, why not customize a design that will be for the whole group? And maybe it's about 10, 15. So there you're already targeting 15 people with just one person, by having the conversation with one person. And that's why I encourage you to have a conversation with your customers, because you learn more about what they want, what their needs are. And every time there's a need, there's an opportunity to sell. If I'm out and about, if I don't know that you're a piano instructor, I don't know to say, hey, I have a little girl that I would love for her to learn how to play a piano. So just being open and being pretty much share off your business as much as possible everywhere you go. And it'll help you also with the pitch. How do you say, everything that you do in a couple sentences? That's pretty hard too. But if the person sees you enthusiastic about what you do, they tend to get curious also. And so that's when they start asking questions, or they, or at least just ask for a business card. Can anybody tell me their pitch? Hi, Sylvia. I want to put you on the spot since you just logged. I think you were logged on. But if you can tell me a little bit more about your business, or if you're starting off with one.
I just got in. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But yeah, I just heard like the last part of that sentence. So maybe somebody else can answer.
Tell me a little bit about your business.
My business, Under the Sea Gallery. I've had it for 24 years in Morro Bay. I have a location in Avila, and I used to have one in Hawaii. It is retail and it has like a ocean theme, but some fantasy. And I always refer to it as a shopping experience rather than just a place to go and grab something. It's more to enjoy and walk around.
Yeah. And so where are your locations now?
There's one location in Morro Bay and one in Avila. And then in May, I will have a hotel with 8 rooms and two other retail spots in that same location.
Okay. So you've been doing it for 25 years. Have you had a hotel before?
No, I've never had a hotel, just retail shops.
Okay.
So it's gonna be a whole nother experience.
Yeah. What makes it feel like an experience to your customers?
Well, when you walk around there, I have a couple different things going on. I try and always separate the displays. So there's almost like a little walk-in room of sorts. And so I'll have like different music going in the different areas. One of them I'll have like a video showing some of the items that I sell and like the way that they're made, or, but I just try and theme them out. And then I have one that I call the jellyfish room, that it has like this really awesome music that's relaxing going on. So it's more of like an experience when you walk into it rather than, just a line store with line.
Nice. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
I'm going to continue with the presentation. So we talked a little bit about the marketing methods that exist. If anybody, or actually if everybody can share in the chat what you currently use the most as obtaining clients, and then also what you feel like you would be best at, whether it's face-to-face or digital or print. And print also includes distribution of whether it's flyers or business cards or postcards. And so the different marketing strategies that go into all these methods is one is SEO, which is search engine optimization for the website or any sites. I mentioned that I didn't include Yelp in one of the slides, but I would say having a Yelp account or anything that allows, any platform that allows you to obtain reviews is also very recommendable. I was recently looking at the statistics of having an account like that, and your reviews really are as high, can be influential, and are as influential as word of mouth. So, possibly without even knowing the person, or even the person knowing anybody that has purchased or obtained your service or products, will go off of those ratings to hire you. So there's advertising and publicity, there's content marketing, your products. If you have a service, if your business is mainly a service that you provide, think of maybe products that you can include with the service, like a leave behind. I'll use, I'll use Francis as an example, your skincare products. Currently, how do you get the word out about your products? Well, first, if you can tell me how you came up with your business name.
Like mine is Liang's education service.
Mm-hmm.
I do most marketing on Craigslist or word of mouth. By the way, I have to leave in a few minutes because I have another student. I will delay
Okay.
the lesson in order to attend your lecture. Do you know how long it will take? How long it will finish? Because I was scheduled to 5 to finish.
Yeah.
So yeah, my
I
student
will-
already pushed them back already. So I have
Okay.
to go.
We'll send the video.
Can you send a video to me?
Yes.
Where do you have my email, right? I'll slice pictures.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
because
you.
mine is just one after one, the very time limited, right? So when the lecture I was so it's the start at 4, finish at 5. So I have to schedule my student just after 5. I have to go.
Okay. No problem. Thank you.
Yeah, just let you know.
Okay. And I'm sorry for those of you that can't stay after 5. Great. I'll try to wrap it up very quickly. But I can go more into details, even the next class that we have, about all the marketing, what do you call them? Opportunities for you to display your business. Again, depending on the pricing, depending on your customers, branding has a lot to do with it. And then, the quality of your customer service. So all of this gives your business an identity that could be very identifiable by any of your customers. I'm going to go on to the next one.
What does ROMI stand for?
Oh, that's my favorite. ROMI stands for return on marketing investment. So we can create also like a plan that you can create goals for your marketing strategies. So for example, if your goal is to have more likes on Facebook or have more followers, we could put down the start date of a campaign that you're going to start off with, and then take a look at it in 3 months or within the month. And I'll go over a lot of these strategies or methods of creating a strategic plan in the following class. I wanted to just give you an overall view of everything that can be done for your marketing plan for your business. I'm going to leave a little bit of homework for everybody, if you don't mind. I hope you can make it again in the next class. If you can tell me what your top goals, whether it's 2 or 3 goals for your business in terms of marketing. And then we'll go over the implementations for, developing that strategy. So again, dream big. Your business is your baby. You are creating it. Consider it itself like another human being. It has a personality of its own, or it should. It has its own identity, and we'll also talk more about that. I just wanted to kind of let you understand how much time it does take to do the marketing for any business, really. Again, cost and money, or cost and time is very essential. So be realistic. How much time can you dedicate to it? And that's another question also, if you don't mind either entering in the chat, or next time we see each other, if you can tell me, a solid 4 hours a week or a solid 30 hours a week for the promotion. And that may vary depending on how busy you become. Another question that I want you to think about is your business seasonal? Or is it something that you can maintain busy throughout the whole year? And then also, if you can describe your current customer. For those of you that are starting out, if you can describe who you think is will be your current customer. You know, where do they usually look for your services? And the last question is, who is your competition? I don't like to think that there's competition, but it's always good to know that there's other businesses that provide the same services or similar services, or same products, similar products, and taking a look at how they present it is also helpful in how you market yours and maybe how you modify the way you provide those services. I'm gonna use a t-shirt, for example, the t-shirt business, for example, again. If I know there's a lot of t-shirt design stores online, what is gonna make me feel more attracted to your business? The fact that you had a conversation and was interested in my preferences it feels kind of nice to be heard and to think, wow, somebody's going to work on mine without me even asking. Or if you're able to personally deliver, normally I know that wouldn't be something that you would do, but because you're growing, it could be something special for that client as well. Or could you include a patch or something that could go on their cell phone, because now you're not just designing just t-shirts, but you know, you want those people your clients to promote you everywhere they go. Thinking of things that could be used by your customers is very helpful in growing the promotion of it. And so be realistic about how much time you have to dedicate to it. And then also, where are you in the brand awareness? Are you just starting out and really nobody knows who you are or where you are? Have you been in business about 4 or 5 years where people already started recognizing you? And so, or are you in business more than that? And then, you know, you either have customer loyalty, or at least people recommend you whenever they hear somebody that need your services or products. And then industry research. This also takes a long portion of your time. So I'm going to send, and we'll go over it in the next class, questions that you should be asking your current customers, and getting an understanding of why they even go with you. What is it that you do right, and how much more can you do of that to draw them in either more often or draw in a larger group. So I'm gonna take a look at your industries and maybe get a sense for how we can even do a wholesale approach to where you're selling more and with less effort. And then develop a marketing strategy for each one of you. I don't know if anybody has any questions or if we're...
Hey, Romy, we have a couple of comments in the chat box.
Yeah.
The first one came from Kaylee, and she's basically stating constant contact, Instagram, Facebook, Canva for graphic designs for advertising, networking through chamber events, and lots of holistic, mindful, spiritual health and wellness classes and workshops. When networking, I always, where did it go? When networking, I always go in with a clear intention. I try to set clear intentions daily, personal intentions, business intentions, spiritual intentions. Writing down my intentions really helps me stay present and focused. And then we have a comment from Sharice stating product, branding, social media, but it doesn't seem to make a noticeable difference. Also, Facebook shut down my page after 15 years of photos and contacts. Now I am trying to reestablish. So those were the two comments left in the chat box.
Okay. For those of you that have a Facebook business account, can you please in the chat put your @ username? Even if you just open one up, or if you have other platforms, if you could please include your @username for the business. Are there any other, or are there any questions that you guys might have?
I just very quickly question. I have to go. Could you? Is that possible for you to send me your slides as well? Because I have to go
Yes.
now. Send me
Okay.
also the video. Also, next time I was thinking about can we start on time and finish on time, because my time schedule is one after one. It's very tight.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
problem.
So we can start start on time and finish on time. So
Yes.
I just make sure I'm not missing anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. I have to go.
Sure,
Thank
no
you.
problem. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, and there's so much to cover. I don't know if anybody or if everybody's able to do an hour and a half next time, or even a couple hours, if you're interested in me going more into depth about all of this, all of these methods and strategies. I'd be more than happy to extend our time if everybody's able to. These are really just very surface bullet points, pretty much, that that I could present today. I'm not sure how you guys are feeling about this, or did I overwhelm you, or did I give you pretty much kind of what you already knew? Tan? And I'm gonna pick on people.
I think Tan says she had to leave to pick up her nephew, but you can,
Okay.
Kaylee's already ready.
Hi,
Yeah,
Kate.
I was just gonna say, I wasn't overwhelmed. I know I showed up 30 minutes late, but this is great information. I look forward to looking over the slides and going over the first 30 minutes that I missed. So
Thank
I'm
you.
excited for the next session. Hopefully I can be on time.
Yeah, no problem. And I'll send some forms, like some worksheets that can help you with designing or, developing more of your marketing path.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to kind of get a business plan together. But I'd never done that before. So
Okay.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna figure it out.
Yes, you will. And a lot of the times it's trial and error when you're starting something new. Even if you've had business experience, being in a new industry is can be a challenge also.
Yeah, it's a new industry. And it'll also be the first time I'm working for myself. So I've been volunteering with the Los Osos Chamber for 2 years, and then I joined the Morro Bay one almost a year ago. So that experience has really helped.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of volunteer work. I mean, my mom always makes fun of me. She's like, "Are you ever gonna get a job that pays you?" I was like, I swear I'm working towards something. I don't know what it is, but it's happening. It's coming.
Yes, and yeah, don't devalue any volunteer work. That's how you get your business out. It's word of mouth, and it's work, and it's what works. And people that love how you provide your services will definitely be telling other people about you. So it's gonna work. It's working.
Yeah, I love it. It's good community stuff, getting together, and I wouldn't be at this meeting today, I wouldn't know anything about this if I wasn't involved in volunteer work. So
yeah, good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Cherish, sorry. Can you tell me some of the challenges that you've had, or just like what you look forward to in terms of marketing?
So I've done quite a few things and dabbled in different types of marketing. I did a lot of work on my website, and I have found that brick and mortar, at least the kind of stuff that I do, which is again, the experience and the location, was so difficult to have an online store because everybody who comes into my shop sees the stuff. It's more expensive because I have to pay for rent and because I have to pay a percentage to the city for so I pay rent and I pay a percentage because I'm on the waterfront. And so I can't compete with online stores. So if I put something online and I priced it, they would find it there and then they would search it through eBay and all those other things. That is a major disappointment to me because it takes me like, an hour for each product. And I mean, that's probably be small, that's thinking less than what it actually did with all the photos and blah, blah, blah. So, and then with social media, like I said, Facebook knocked me off and I'm like, are you kidding me? I finally had, like 1,000 people who, if I sent something out, it got around. Now I'm like at 50 and it's just like, I just don't want to do it.
Yeah, no, it's very frustrating and time consuming again. It's just unbelievable.
It's hard to want me to pay for it, and I'm like, but that took me that long just from word of mouth of people coming in, getting to know me, and then them taking the time to like say that they liked my page. So anyway, I'm a little downtrodden with social media and online shop presence. So I want to, but I do know that with a hotel, I'm going to have to really start looking into online presence for that particular thing. So whatever I was doing wrong, I got to get it right because I can't have a startup hotel with no guests.
Yes. How or where is it located?
On the Embarcadero.
Okay.
Embarcadero. So Morro Bay.
Yeah. Congrats. Thank you. Gabby, do we have, or if a few participants stay later, do we have time or do you have to go?
Oh, no, go ahead. Feel free.
Okay. Either way, everybody is welcome to contact me directly, and we can also do a business consultation and focus on what you have going on and how you like to refine it. But for those that are still here, we can also go over a few of the things that I was mentioning, and then I'll work with the individuals that had to leave. So in terms of the methods that that are available for the promotion of your business, I'm going to pick on Teresa. Is there one in particular that has worked better than the other so far?
Honestly, I've only done a couple, I guess you call them ads or promotions through Instagram, Facebook. So that's how I've gotten the word of mouth out. People have seen it and come into the store on that, but I don't have any experience as far as other avenues of marketing.
Yeah. Who were those people? What did they?
Right. So talking like millennials, basically. So maybe 20s, 30s. Yeah.
Why do they buy a plant?
It's what I've seen as far as like with COVID, with the pandemic, a lot of people became what they call like plant parents, and it's been that age group that kind of identifies with that. So collectors, they tend to collect plants.
Oh, nice. And so we hear often that if you talk to plants, they tend to grow a lot faster or healthier. Have you personally had a lot of plants, or you just like them?
Mostly I just like them. I think I have my own collection as well. So some of each kind, each like genus, I guess what you would say. So different types of plants that each have different requirements.
Yes, and that's what makes it complicated for many of us. What I noticed is right now I'm in Paso. So my plants never survive for whatever reason. Recently they have. Somehow I'm doing something different, but I noticed that when I was living in Santa Barbara, they just naturally would stay alive. I would water them always, of course, but the climate had to do a lot with it, I'm pretty sure. And so how, thinking about how you can make the nurturing of a plant more easily understood could help also boost our confidence as new plant owners. So maybe developing that language of
Right.
how often, just like marketing, how often do you really have to tend to the plant? Or can you target those customers with a specific type of plant? Looking at what plants don't require much attention could be a great way to hooking on new customers that aren't normally attracted to taking care of plants.
Yeah.
But to make it easy on you, looking at who those customers are, you mentioned they're millennials, they consider themselves plant parents. What does that mean to anybody that wouldn't understand what a plant parent is?
It means, I guess in the same way as your fur babies, as far as, your pets.
Yeah.
Something they look at every day to see if it has a new leaf or if it's changing colors or what that new leaf is going to look like. Just it's their babies, it becomes to them. Yeah.
Yeah. Can we take them anywhere?
The plants?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Can we take them? No? Okay. So, just even, I know those are silly questions, but asking as many questions as if we were a child, that curiosity will help us create the ideal customer. It will help us take a step back from our business and think about maybe all the questions normal or plant parents wouldn't, non-plant parents would have. That intimidates us from taking care of them or having a new one. And then you mentioned a new leaf coming out. I know bamboo grows very quickly, or I don't know if it's a certain bamboo, but I recently saw or heard that it was even within a week, you notice how much of I think like a foot they grow from when they start growing from the root or whatever. But I don't know if you can identify like the plants that grow very quickly to target those millennials.
Yeah.
Those customers, because the fact that you can literally see it growing is amusing. I mean, normally we would have to put a video to see like a tomato grow or look at the process. And but if there are plants that grow very quickly, those would be a great way to start the promotion of your plants and targeting those customers. Not sure if you already have like a set price or how you set your prices for each type of plant, or what kind of plants do you focus on, or do you focus on any plants?
Yeah, so specifically, of course, indoor house plants, I do try to get more unique plants that you can't get, at Home Depot or Lowe's or Miners, wherever people get their plants.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's another good point. Your customer is not, whether they shop at Home Depot or not, is not where they would go to look for these type of plants. Would you say because they're different, they're higher in the price range?
No, not necessarily. No.
Okay. So that's good. I mean, we can get a really interesting plant for the same price.
Yeah.
Can you give me an example?
So we have, it's hard. I just have a lot of shit plants. We have, it's a type, it's called Syndapsis. So it's like a pothos, which everybody has. I wish I had my, here, hold on.
Yeah. Thank you.
This is like the general pothos. Everybody has this green plant, easy to grow, doesn't need light. You can't really kill it. But there's a version of it that is silvery with silver leaves, really metallic.
Nice.
Yeah, and those are, same price point, but I think a lot more visually appealing.
Yeah. In the process of getting more customers that stop by your shop,
Mhm.
have you thought of reaching out to gift shops at hospitals or,
Yeah.
okay,
Because I work at 2 different hospitals, I was actually,
Yeah.
that was on my list to maybe, yeah, talk to the whoever manages the gift shop and see, of course.
yeah. And, it's kind of hard to sell when you don't want to come off as a salesman or a car salesman. So just having to learn about how they purchase other
Yeah.
items. Learn about the process that they take to think about whether it's a sweater, a scarf, a toy. What is it that they look at? What is it that they what makes them decide on what products they say yes to and what they say no to? And is it based on their budget? And is it based on the fact that somebody would have to take care of the plant?
Mhm.
What employee will be doing that? Or is that a hassle for them? And make them feel confident that when you do sell to them, that the plants that you are specifically choosing for them are low maintenance. And so you mentioned that a lot of the plants get delivered by a third party or,
Correct. Yeah. By the wholesaler. Yeah.
okay. How does it get delivered?
On a box truck.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, just that's a very important part of the business growth is the delivery of your product.
Mhm.
How is it being presented? Even though the employee is not necessarily going to be the one to keep the plant, sometimes we do get excited about our new products because of the way they show up or the way they look.
Mhm.
So what kind of pots are they being sent in, or even what kind of look presentation do they have when they get delivered, or is it just another box to them?
Mhm.
And so think about what makes people excited about getting what you have.
Yeah.
Can I like to network a lot with industry partners. So for example, if you can and it's just an example, a pottery artist, can you collaborate with them to where the plant becomes more special due to the fact that it's created by somebody in the community or even by children? Can you collaborate with schools to where they have the experience, they playing with clay or creating something, but you can also benefit by having these unique pieces. It's just an idea. Not that we're going to put kids to work, but they learn a lot from the texture and from creating different items also.
No, totally. And I'm thinking like, little workshops. So,
Yeah.
little Mother's Day workshops, the kids can decorate little pots and have a little plant to go with it. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the presentation again has a lot to do with it. How you sell has a lot to do with it. What questions you're asking, and who are they currently buying from somebody else? If so, why? It's not just okay, who do they sell from? Why are they buying from them? And if they aren't, then you're going to be the one they're going to be buying from. So just think of all the if you can make like a short list of all the either organizations or people that you can sell to in wholesale, that would be a start to increasing sales. And I'll use also florists as examples. I don't know that they generally like to grow and cut their own flowers to have at or to sell as bouquets, but they might. So identifying maybe florists or turning people into florists, because there's actually, I feel like there's not enough florists in the area. I do wedding photography and also coordinating. And so I know that a lot of people are always calling or looking for a florist, and most of the time it's out of this area, unfortunately. So just thinking about the industries where flowers are limited.
Okay.
Mhm. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm like thinking while I'm sorry while I'm saying it, but yeah, and then in terms of social media, once you do start selling, it'll be, I think, more difficult to obtain, whether it's pictures of the product or the flowers that they're purchasing, or just saying, you know, showing off the fact that you have a new partner, or that you're excited to be providing these flowers to the hospital, places like that. Do you have your business cards?
I do.
Okay. Would the person that delivers be able to include like thank you notes, or individually include some type of a card that has your logo or your information on it?
Maybe I misunderstood you before. So we're not delivering product yet. I thought you meant like who delivers to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but so then you deliver to your customer?
Not yet. I just have the storefront, so the brick and mortar. But yes, very soon I want to set up the online delivery option, shipping option. So yes, I would have a little note included as well, a little card.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have a logo or?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. Sharice, do you have a question?
Oh, just because we're a small little group here and you're talking about her stuff, I would just say, I remember when I was in the Bay Area, one of my good friends, what they did is that they would get plants and then they would go to offices and they would, you know, put all the plants around and then maintain them and then switch them out. And they would have like a little advertisement on their plants too for you know, their own business. So it actually was a way to advertise as well. And seeing as I have a hotel and I want to have plants in it, but I don't want to take care of them or pay to have them taken care of, it might be really a cool thing to do plants in there too. Just an avenue for you to market yourself and have a little thing that says, you know, what your business is and that these flowers or plants are all from you. So anyway, just throwing that out there. I think.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Get them.
No, for sure. Thank you. Again, it's something, because I'm brand new, I have all these ideas and I'm trying to figure out which avenue I want to go down on, which avenue I want to take. I don't want to overwhelm myself with too many different, I guess, options.
Yeah, and make it, I don't want to say cookie cutter, but make it easy on you, and just as simple as being, you know, if you're not just marketing, let's just say hotels, that the information that you are providing to hotels can be also adapted to, let's say, real estate agents. I like that sometimes they provide a housewarming gift, or, you know, a new purchase, a home purchase gift. And plants are a really good, I think, a good gift to provide to their customers. So just making sure that you write down something that could be very adaptable, and it makes it easy on you. You know, just having one person from all those different industries will be beneficial, because, for example, a real estate agent that works with a larger group, you don't necessarily have to go to each one of them. If you can just familiarize yourself, or, you know, or create a relationship with that one agent, I'm very certain that they'll recommend you to the rest of the agents. So in that case, it wouldn't be so overwhelming for you to, you know, be talking to everybody. So just at least one, you know, create a relationship with one person in each industry, or each each place or organization that you have in mind to go to.
Absolutely. Thank you.
For 10, I'm gonna kind of, because it is a small group, thank you for staying afterwards. I kind of just want to get you started on visualizing a strategy that you can continue. And so because your sales will mostly be through online, but how do you get people to go to your online site? Currently, you mentioned, you mentioned your 10-year-old nephew, which I think is really fun. I have 2 kids, a boy and a girl, and whether they like it or not, they do develop that entrepreneurial spirit and that excitement to actually be doing something that as adults is fortunately and unfortunately is valued, and which is money. But it helps them to learn the tools and to feel like they're also contributing to the financial well-being of their family or even of friends. So I don't know if you've already developed a pitch or have like a phrase that describes your business completely.
I've been preparing for a trip, but very eagerly hearing what has been said. So, but I did not hear the questions that you posed right now.
Yeah, just really quickly. Thank you, Cherise. I got your message. Well, I think she logged off. I'll see you next time. Yeah, the question, first of all, what do you have a business, or are you starting one, or have you been in
I
business?
have a business. It's actually been around since 1995.
Okay.
Under a previous owner. I have had it since 2008. It is a Hawaiian culture and dance class. And I'm presently in San Luis Obispo. And my focus is to preserve and perpetuate the Hawaiian culture. I actually started in this through a federal grant, and I'm only going to mention the number $1 million because it was a very intensive and well thought out plan to help those people from the Pacific Islanders who migrate to the mainland, so to help them retain their culture, because as it happens so often, people become enculturated, and so we didn't want them to lose their identity. You know, the islands are finite. They're small. Resources are limited. So
Right.
so many leave. And we just wanted to be sure that their heritage was not lost. And so that's what the grant was for, to train many of us to help with that.
And when you say train, what are you trained on?
I'm trained with the hula, and many of the traditions of the Pacific Islanders, especially Hawaii. Traditions, the culture, and hula was a way to reinforce history, genealogy. There was no language. There was no written language. So hula helped in that respect.
Okay. I have to say, I love this project. And I know that you will have success, as you already started having success with that huge grant. That's exciting. So are you on
The grant was something that I participated in 10 years ago. It was to help train 10 hula instructors in California. And so that training has come and gone. but it is our responsibility now to take what we've learned and make it alive and continue that for Pacific Islanders.
Okay. Are you a nonprofit or for
I
profit?
am under the fiscal sponsorship of Arts Obispo.
Oh, Arts of Baseball. Okay.
Mhm.
So are you a program of its own?
Yes,
Is that what you?
yes, I've
Okay.
always been always by myself. I actually do everything myself, from accounting to the marketing to
Yeah.
Directing directing and producing shows, for example, at the Clark Center. So, of course, that was before COVID.
Yeah. And so what are you seeing any challenges currently, or what would you like to get out of in terms of
Yeah.
marketing?
I am seeing challenges. My biggest challenge is that I only have one day where I can teach because I'm at the mercy of the studio that I rent from. And so whatever hours are left over is all I can hang on to. And so Wednesdays is what I hang on to.
Yeah.
But I have so many other students who say, well, can you, do you have any other days that you teach or any other hours? And that's my problem. So I'd like to find a home where I have an area to myself. And it's just a room. That's all I need is a room. That doesn't have to have foot traffic even, because
Yeah. Right.
you know, I'm not selling anything. So that's my main problem.
You know, when you first started telling me about your challenges, I don't know if even hiring other instructors would be something that you want to look into also. I obviously having a place would be the first goal, but is that something that you're looking forward to, or?
Not really. It's such a unique business. And I don't even want to say business. It's such a unique program.
Yeah.
That and it's really the Hawaiian culture. There is a subculture here in this area that people don't even know about. And those are the people that I'm trying to reach. And even people who don't even know I'm around. And there are many. As I said, 1995 is when we started. But people say, I never knew there was hula in this area. And we've been here for that long.
Do you know the numbers that are in the area? Like the
No.
region?
No, but it would be mostly in the 5 cities area.
5 cities, okay.
Seems to be where most
So
of the
the reason I ask is because it is such a special program, I'm confident that you will find a place, and that may not even cost you much. Networking or even collaborating with places like even the Boys and Girls Club or YMCA. I think that one's in SLO, to let them know, hey, you know, I have this this amazing program developed, but I don't have a location. Can I provide these services to your clients as long as I can, you know, teach other classes on these other days or something like that? Know what they're in need of, and whether it's a trade or some type of agreement that you can come up with. I'm pretty sure that you can find a location. I'm not sure if you've already reached out to other people.
I have. What I'm looking for is a place that I can call home.
Right.
Strictly for our use, where I can create the ambiance of the islands so that when people come, they know why they're there. It's not just a room, you know, with ballet bars and mirrors, that it's actually a place of learning for that which is Polynesian. And so that's been the difficulty.
So a non-shared area.
Correct.
Okay. So now we're looking at finances. Is that correct?
Well, I suppose so. Yeah. Yeah. There's that 4-letter word called rent.
Yes. And that's where I was. So the challenge really is more of not just a location. I mean, that's the goal, but how do you come up with the amount that is needed? You know, unfortunately, there's several steps to getting there if you don't have a donor. You mentioned that you're under Arts Obispo, but is your program nonprofit then? Because it sounds like you're in charge of it, but you're kind of.
Well, I am in charge of it, but the director of Arts Obispo said, you know, there's really no reason to recreate the wheel. We can be your fiscal sponsor. So, so I took that as an invitation, and it's worked out, except they don't, you know, they don't do that kind of legwork. In fact, Arts Obispo has kind of been on hold for quite some time, not very active. Their funds have been very, very minimal, as well as staffing. I think there's only one person now at Arts Obispo.
Yeah, that was my next question. If your position is also grant funded or sponsored.
No, I don't have any grants.
Okay. How is it that you get paid? Do you charge for the classes then?
Yes, for tuition, monthly tuition.
And then, sorry, remind me where you have the one class a week?
It's at, there's a studio in town called Academy of Dance.
Okay.
And they're in the light industrial area off of Sacramento in San Luis Obispo. And so I rent from someone who rents from the owner.
Huh. And do they have availability for more days per week?
Not really, no.
Okay.
Well, they do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but people don't want to occupy themselves on the weekends like that.
Why not?
Because they work during the week, and so the weekends are time spent with family.
Okay.
Even my own students who have been with me for years, I've asked, you know, are you interested in weekends? And they shake their head no.
Okay. What activities do you do with them?
We have dinners where we get together once every quarter. We get together with things like there's something called Kanikapila, which was in the Five Cities area. It was at the Red Dirt Coffee House. It's a Hawaiian culture based place where people meet and play Hawaiian music and sing, and there's dancers. We also perform at places like the Clark Center, at Spanos Theater. And that's what we'll be getting back into now that COVID is over. Well, now that things have let up a little bit.
Yeah. How many people usually unite? Or
you mean like at the gathering?
Yeah.
House? Oh, there were probably about 50 people there for the afternoon. And that's not including the customers who go and come.
Okay. And so you mentioned performances. Are you able to take non-Hawaiian individuals?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
Very few are Hawaiian. They are Hawaiian by place of birth, but not by heritage.
oh, okay, well, nice. I wanna say I kind of don't agree with the fact that they wouldn't show up on the weekends. I feel like there's not enough to do in some regions of the Central Coast. And maybe we can take a look at that possibility of exploring a new, people want to go out, they want to do different things, they want to learn different things. How can we create more workshops? Is it priced at the right price to have?
I'm priced at I'm probably one of the lowest instructors in the area. I have surveyed all the studios around, and I have priced my hour of instruction. Actually, my hour and 15 minutes of instruction is still less than what other studios charge for 1 hour of instruction.
The same type of instruction?
There is no other same type in my area, in this area.
Okay, so so that's where we need to analyze your target audience. Why is it that dancers, or let's just go for an age range. Ideally, what ages would you want to target?
I have students ranging from 5 years old to 70.
Okay, which ones are your ideal?
5 years old to 70.
And which generation is your ideal?
All generations. Hula is such that you can start as soon as you can walk till the time you die.
Which one's your favorite generation?
I love them all. I have no favorite. I love teaching the children for certain reasons, and I love teaching the older students for certain reasons. Yeah, it'd just be so hard to say who's my favorite.
Which one are the easiest on you?
The easiest would probably be the beginning adults, because the beginning adults are they're there because they want to be there. They want to learn. And they have so much to learn because they know nothing. They're at ground zero. And so I don't have to coax them. Children, they too want to learn, but it's harder to get things across to them. And then the older ones, my advanced students, they just want to keep learning new things, give me new stuff. So I think it's my beginning adults.
Okay, so I'm going to focus just on the younger adults, which can be, I'm going to guess from between.
They're not younger. They're not younger. They're beginning hula students, and they range from college age to 60 years old.
Okay. I thought you said young adults, sorry. So out of your younger students, which generation is easiest on you?
Out of the younger students, you mean the children?
No, you said your young students are the easier.
My beginnings hula students.
Okay.
They're not necessarily younger.
Okay.
I have a beginning student who's just starting, and she's 55.
Okay. So from your beginning students, which generation is easiest on you?
I would say I don't know which generation they are, the 40s and 50s.
Okay. Why is that?
I don't know. I think it's because the younger are so busy with other things in their lives. And the older students, they're more settled. Yeah, they're more settled, I suppose. Here's an example. I have college students in my classes, and I lose them every summer because they go home.
Right.
And then when school starts, they come back. And that happens every break, every semester break or a quarter break here at Cal Poly. So that's hard. That's hard. Whereas the others who are older, they're very they're consistent.
Mm-hmm.
They consistently show up.
Yeah, and you make a good point. But there are also there's also a huge need for summer camps. Again, there's not much for the young, whether children or teens, at least in the North County. I know you want to stay in the 5 cities area, but I don't think there, you know, if there's something like a program that you can develop for now, even just a week long, that you can promote for the summers to fill in for those college students. Otherwise, ideally, you know, you're right. 40 to 50-year-olds are more settled. They're more, they have a routine possibly, or at least can commit and know if they can commit or just not commit at all. They are more financially stable. You know, they're young enough to where they can, they have energy to help you promote and even help with certain performances or, you know, help you with certain groups. They are also very, what do you call it? They're mature enough also to lead other groups if you wanted to segment them for whatever reason. When they recommend you, they're, you know, they already have a status in the community. They already have their sets of friends. Do many of them bring their friends along?
No, no, because what the hula student is has a very specific mindset, or the student that I want. And when they call me, I let them know that I am not an exercise class.
Okay.
Our hula is not easy, even though it looks like it is. The good hula dancers are good because they've worked at it, and that's how they get that graceful look. And so I do have students who come for one class and then they leave and they say, I don't think I can devote the time to hula. And that's okay. I'm glad that they found out. So it's like, it's not easy. It's not something that you come and do because you want to just pass the time away with something that sounds pretty, like Hawaiian music.
What is the mindset?
I forget example. I just had somebody come. She loves the islands. She wants to know more about the culture. She wants to know why it is that she's so attracted to it. It's, I mean, the word aloha has so much meaning for the Hawaiians that people who don't understand about the culture, they don't fully understand what aloha is. And so when I have students who come and stay, they form very strong bonds with each other. And I'm not so sure you get that with, you know, a swim class or going to yoga or going to play racquetball all the time. With hula, those bonds, I have seen them and they last for years. very good friendships have been built.
Mhm.
It's just different. A hula dancer is someone special,
Okay.
and I
Um,
tell them that.
No,
tell
yeah, they are, yeah. What percentage would you say from your beginning students go into intermediate?
What percentage? Oh, gosh. I can't really say, because sometimes I get them and they go straight into intermediate class. It just depends on their level, their knowledge base. I have several who come from different parts of the state, some from San Diego, some from Santa Cruz, some from the Bay Area, and they are students at Cal Poly. And they hear that there is hula in this area, and they have left their halaus, their schools of hula in their hometowns, and they want to continue that. The drive is so strong. So they come and they immediately go into an advanced class because they've had years of hula before. So, they skip the beginning. They just go
Well,
straight into the advanced.
They come in as an advance.
Mhm.
What percentage of the advance come in as an advance?
What percentage? Okay, I would say maybe 15%, 20%.
And from the beginners that start beginners, what percentage stay and go into intermediate?
Probably the same.
15% stay and go into intermediate?
Maybe 20. Never thought about it.
So 80% don't continue.
No, they continue in the beginning class. They stay there. They're comfortable there. Mhm. Because the advanced class is for people who want to perform.
Okay. What about
And I use intermediate and advanced interchangeably.
Oh, okay. So there's only 2 levels. Is that correct?
Correct, yes.
What gets them into an advanced level?
They have to know technique, proper hula technique. They have to be proficient with chants, hula chants. They have to show a desire to learn more about the culture. Yeah. You can't just be a good hula dancer and expect to go into the advanced class.
Who evaluates them?
I do.
Okay. And so you mentioned that 20% go from beginning to advanced and 15 come in. How do you obtain the other 65% in the advanced class?
They've just been with me for a long time.
Okay. So they were from the beginning?
Yeah. Some have been with me for 10 years. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see. How often would they go from beginning to advance, or what does that cycle look like, or that stage transition?
How
long would they be in beginning, a beginning student before they learned enough to transition into an advance?
It all depends. There's no set. I couldn't tell you, because some students never reach a level of proficiency to move up to advance, and it's just fine with them. They just want to come, and they love learning about the culture at the beginning level. And so as long as they maintain that interest and they show up and they try, that's all I can ask for.
Yeah, how often do you evaluate?
I don't have a time. I'll just see where someone has reached a level where I think they can move up and handle the added pressure. There is pressure.
Mhm.
And so I will present them with that option. And if they want to move up, and they always do, then that's when they move up.
Okay, so
Mhm.
luckily those that you do approach do want to move up.
Yes,
They have to get-
yes.
Okay.
And
How often would
I
you say
asked them,
Uh-huh.
I asked them with their registration form, do you want to perform? And if they say yes, then I look for that in them. I look for that quality.
And how many would you say in the registration form put yes?
All of them.
All of them. So everybody does want to move up.
Everybody wants to perform when they're filling out the form,
Mhm.
although they don't understand what it takes.
Okay.
It's
like starting.
to start off with, yes. And so some may quit after a couple of weeks because it's rigorous. Yeah, it's not the exercise class they thought they were going to get into.
Yeah, that's the second time you said that. Do you think those that do go into advance and are committed to performing have a specific athletic type, or like even body type or energy level?
Specific. No, I don't think so. I don't think there's a specific. I think what is common among them all is the desire to learn and be a part of like the spokes of a wheel. They all want to work together, because you can't be a soloist and be a part of a performance group. I mean, you can, but you have to be able to give yourself up to the group.
Just because I see Katie and Tan still on, the reason I'm walking through all these questions is in order to really understand why people stick around, who your customer is, and how to grow those customers. So thank you for still listening in or being patient. This is
Thank you for asking the questions.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is part of the dissection that the process takes in order to know who your client really is. Just identifying what, not just the age and not just the, where they live. I mean, that's general demographic information. But there's so much more to each customer, and there's so much that we can also learn from them that will make and help your business grow. Your program, you hate saying it, that it's a business, so let's not call it a business. And your loyal students, they don't want to feel like they're going to business. They truly value that culture, and so by staying committed, they not only want to learn, they want to share. They want to share what they know. They want to share what they find so beautiful and what they cherish from the culture. So from, these questions that I'm asking you, it's also so you can get an idea. It's probably, like you mentioned, they're not questions that you might have thought of before. But I'm gonna, your goal is to have, your dream is to have a place, but your goal is also to grow the program with individuals that genuinely value the culture and respect it, and show others how to value it and respect it and get it well known.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
So I'm just gonna wrap it up because Gabby's kicking us out. Just kidding. So let's start with the shorter term goal, and that's to identify why the current students are sticking around. Why do, because only 20% go into advance, and I guess 80% are not wanting, or either don't stick around or are not wanting to take that extra step, whether it's, sometimes it could be just shyness of performing, stage fright, but understanding why is there a huge gap between transitioning into the next advanced stage. So next time you have a class, if you don't mind asking both classes or both beginning students and advanced students. Beginning students, what would you say has been the most challenging for you? And if you notice that they haven't wanted to go into the advanced, ask them why. It's okay. I mean, there's no judgment, but just getting that insight from them. And also with advanced, if how they see this tradition and culture being incorporated into the community. Because if they're performing and they're so committed and they've been there for years, how would they envision it being included in other events, even among schools or community events? What is it that they wish they could see? And for those that have come from other places, if you can ask them how things are different where they used to go, and just get some insight as to how things are done differently, possibly in other locations, and what they see as being the exciting part of that. Again, all of this with the intention that we're going to grow the program, and many more people are going to learn about hula and what it takes to be an advanced student. But I will see everybody next time. I hope you can all make it.
Good, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing all of that information. Any last questions or any questions in general, you guys can email me.